Hello and welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is your host Omar speaking, and tonight's video is about Newcastle United once again. Newcastle have been linked to some very interesting names throughout the past couple of days. None more so interesting than the incomparable Senegalese captain, African champion, former Champions League winner with Liverpool, and obviously Premier League winner, Sadio Mane. Now, what makes this link the most concrete of every other that the club have had throughout the last couple of days is that Sadio himself was questioned as to whether or not he could end up returning to England and more specifically play for Newcastle. And he said, never say never. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The black and white of Tyneside could end up signing one of the Premier League's icons of the past decade. Now I say icon because I don't think that's under dispute. He was a very good player at Southampton and he was amazing at Liverpool. It makes his move from Liverpool to Bayern, however, look ill-timed. He's had a very conflicting year in Germany. It's been full of turmoil, strain, frustration. He's gotten into fights with teammates as far as I remember. And, well, he ended up winning the Bundesliga. And let's just face it, anyone who goes to Bayern can almost certainly assure a German league title. They've won the league title throughout the last 10 seasons consecutively, right? I mean, that's as far as I remember. Because I really don't care about the Bundesliga for that particular reason, that is. It just takes the life out of it to see one team continuously win the title over and over and over and over again. Even if it were my team, I'd possibly get bored of that. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Now, I think that in context with the players that they've been linked to or players that they've been negotiating with, they're currently holding talks with Barella, who I made a video about earlier this week. And if they can possibly open up negotiations with Bayern Munich for Sadio Mane's signature, they could have two very, very good signings on their hands within the next month or so. Now, what makes this a little more interesting, however, is that Eddie Howe has only supposedly and reportedly been given 75 million to spend throughout the summer. This is not really the amount I expected Newcastle's hierarchy to give Howe. Why do you ask? Because, well, they're basically rolling in money. But it would make a certain amount of sense for them to want to gradually move up the ladder and not overspend in their first proper summer after having achieved Champions League football. Also, just in case you didn't know, they've signed a new sponsorship deal for the front of the shirt, Saudi company Sela, for a reported 20 million a season. Now this is good. It's good for them. It assures that their revenue for the most part comes out from the same oil-ridden country. But also, I'm a little iffy on the transfer window thus far in regards to how much they have to spend. If they can't really spend over 75 million and they need to buy maybe 2 or 3 proper players, and in this case, if we are talking Barella, if he could possibly be tempted to move away from Inter, and if we are talking about Mane moving away from Bayern, I would suspect that both of them could end up costing together more than 75. Now, they've been linked with a loan move for Maguire, which is suicidal. Please, don't go there. Just don't. Okay? I'm not even going to address this any further. Moving on. They've also been linked with Federico Chiesa, who is my favorite Italian player currently. And he has been ever since, even before the Euros that Italy won. Now, granted that he has struggled with injuries for a while, I think that if he does end up choosing to leave Juventus and go over to England, Newcastle would be a perfect place to possibly resurrect his career in a sense. Not that it's dead, but he hasn't necessarily been the player that he was, or that he was perceived to be ever since returning from injury. Now, all these names, except Maguire, they give you a reason to feel optimistic again, for obvious reasons. Now, I think that if Newcastle are smart, if the hierarchy are smart, if whoever is behind the negotiations at the club is intelligent enough to want to get things done in the most cold-blooded manner possible, then he possibly, or she, whoever you are, just go and get Mane, get him to sign and find a way to sign Barella within the next week or two. I think that's the best way to go about this. Because, to be fair, and I've been saying this ever since I started making videos again, anyone in the league should start and finish their business before United jump into the fray with a Qatari fortune. This could be the perfect opportunity for Newcastle to finish off maybe 2 or 3 marquee signings before the transfer window ends by a long shot. And I would support this. Now, would Mane fit into Eddie Howe's plans? Obviously. Would Mane work well under Howe? That we'd have to wait and see. I have, however, heard people say that Newcastle should sack Eddie Howe because he doesn't have the potential or the gravitas, and I've used that word 2 times in 2 consecutive videos now for obvious reasons, as the likes of Mourinho and Pep. Guys, Howe is the best English manager there is currently. No one compares. He's the best English manager in the league. He's done a brilliant job with Newcastle. The players love playing for him. He's the driving force now. This man has presented himself in the best way possible to the fans. They obviously adore him. There's a connection there. And I think that parting ways with Howe would be a horrible idea, no matter who they'd end up getting. And I don't know where this is coming from either way, but I just thought I'd share my opinion on it for, football's sake. Now, honestly, I'm just going to end this video by saying that I am genuinely excited for Newcastle. I'm happy that they're being linked with such players. And I think that bringing back that ruckus, that European ruckus, and maintaining it for the next couple of seasons in a healthy manner will be brilliant for that fan base. And obviously a nightmare for the likes of Sunderland. But, let's just leave them aside for now. Thank you once again for tuning into my video. Please let me know what you think. If you agree with what I'm saying, if you have any disagreements with me at all, I'd welcome it. I'd like to be able to have a conversation in the comment section below. So just leave whatever you have to say, and I'll get back to it. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel for daily content, and I will see you next time the whistle blows. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for watching once again.